Hey there, and welcome to Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise here on Free Enterprise 2 on Twitch TV. My name is Sheep Launcher. I'm here with the Blue Wizard, and Wizard, in the middle of the journey of our life, we find ourselves within a dark woods where the straight way was lost, but we have 9 objectives modeled after the Divine Comedy to get through. This looks like it should be a really exciting set of flags.
Yes, yes, it should. And tonight we actually have ourselves a myriad of runners. We've got E Ninja 81, Fried Dough Potato, Type 1, and Warlenko 5.
Yeah, it should be these are four obviously really experienced runners, but tonight we have our hero Cecil heading into the underworld and heading into the moon. You have to defeat all of the demons of the underworld. You have to go to the moon. You have to drop the magma key down the well. All in all, it's just a really fun Dante time. And Cecil is our hero tonight. And Wizard, the hero kind of has some special properties in this flag set, including agility. Tell us a bit about that.
Well, I could tell you about it, but I think you do a better job at describing it.
Well, the hero is going to always gain experience, no matter how dead they happen to be at the end of the fight. And the
Oh,
hero.
you said, see here, I heard agility.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yes. So that means no matter where they are, if they're dead, off to the side, or just up in the air, the hero will always gain experience.
Yeah, and the hero's agility is always going to be uh, the, the, the setting agility for anchoring purposes. So Cecil is kind of the agility master in the vanilla game, so he should be a fairly simple learning curve for our runners. But it looks like our runners are off. We are glad to have you with us. Cecil is joined by a Cid, and an Octomam gives us some music to start. Let's go.
And oh yes, we have the Dark Knight Cecil and his favorite pal Sid, and they're off to the races.
This should be a whole lot of fun. We are joined by our tracker Enja Dave and our intrepid restreamer Alicel, who is making everything show up on the screen for you. But really, there isn't a way I would rather spend my Friday night than going to the moon and back, and also to the underworld and back. And already we have a little bit of divergence. Tybalt heading to Castle Evelyn. Castle Evelyn is my personal Hades. So I'm glad Tybalt is making his way here, and right away finds a Murasame. The C standard flag is on. Edge could be just about anywhere. No free characters, so one of the spots he won't be is in this Watery Pass.
Yep, and speaking of Watery Pass, we do see some decent items coming out of it. Nice little Charm Rod, Black Belt. You know, Evelyn and Watery Pass are always going to be two really safe bets for just picking up some of that, on average, decent loot for a kind of well-rounded party. And Tybalt going to Evelyn, I mean, we all know him as the gambler. He's going to take that chance, going and hopefully getting, something fairly decent, because this is max tier 6, so that means no crystal swords, no adamant armors.
At least not just laying around. Now, there could be some holy swords in the trap chest out here.
Yep, but I don't think we're necessarily going to see that happen with a Dark Knight Cecil initially at start.
No, the trap chest is probably a little bit too much to take on now. Oh, there's a protect ring that Warlink found way in the back of Watery Pass. Very nice. Another thing that's interesting is a dwarf axe. So for now, that's a fairly decent weapon for Cid. It will cause him to do full damage from the back row, can be used to do some early game damage. Later on, it could lower agility for somebody else that you don't want to have as many terms. Although the agility anchoring situation, Cecil can't equip that Dwarf Axe, so that's a womp there.
Yeah, and that's okay because the for the people who went ahead and explored the full depths of the Watery Pass, who picked up that Protect Ring, who picked up that Dwarf Axe, also got rewarded with picking up a nice early on Earth Hammer that they can use for a light AoE Quake.
Yeah, you could use that Earth Hammer as an item, which does a low attack power Quake, as you said. Uh, Interesting weapon shop here in City, I believe. There's an Ogre Axe for sale, and Tibble also wants some Charm Arrows.
Well, it's a charming endeavor to want to get those arrows, but he's gonna
Potato
have to
did
kill some stuff.
head up to Mount Hobbs and gets the free summon for the Rydia he found at the other end of Hobbs, defeating Rubicant, which, by the way, Potato does have his first objective down. Only finds the Mist summon, but throws on a black shirt that he found earlier on, and that Rydia with just any kind of summon is going to really be a force.
Yep. Well, okay. You say any kind of summon, but we've all seen what Imp and Chocobo can do, and it's not a lot of damage. However, if able to go ahead and get Rydia with a little bit of extra HP, I think that Mist Dragon can do a little extra damage.
Yeah, the Mist Dragon, not what you're looking for. The free summon there is randomized. It could be any number of things, but I think Potato looking for an orb somewhere, maybe a Titan or a Leviathan that could. Well, Titan isn't available as an orb, but a Leviathan summon would really help this party out.
Oh yeah, Leviathan, Bahamut. Uh, I mean, yeah, and we see on the top right corner on Fried Dough Potato's side, in the Antlion Cave, Valvalis. Very nice to
All
see in that particular spot.
all of the fiends making themselves available early. Rubicant on Mount Hobbs, Valvalis right in the Antlion Cave. They don't want to walk around with Virgil any more than they have to. They are making themselves apparent very early. Does get a packet, so this is interesting. Uh, the package does give a character check on this, but also this is kind of a mini boss hunt. The mode is fiends, so you have to defeat all the fiends. Mylon Z, Valvalis, Rubicant, Kainatsu, and the elements. So that's 6 in total. So that's fairly decent odds that one of them might be hanging out at a beat spot like the package. It's going to be a very interesting check if Potato wants to make it.
Yep. Honestly, I think you make the check. With I mean, once you go through ordeals and you get the Paladin Cecil online, sure it's going to be great, but having that fourth character early on can provide, a pretty good edge, if it is edge.
That would be nice, especially uh, for Tybalt. Once he gets there, Tybalt, though, is not taking on the Antlion Cave, instead meeting Antlion on top of Mount Ordeals. A little bit early for this, will be a little bit slow through here, but makes it through Antlion without much of a problem. And it's going to head straight back in. Meanwhile, Potato did check the Mist Cave, found the Dark Imps, and went ahead and took that fight for the EXP. The
Yep.
package check, not what he was looking for. That's a Porum.
Well, I mean, at this point, do you take the Porum to just to have that white mage on your party?
Well, I've done enough Porum slander on Free Enterprise 2 for a while. I don't need to do anymore. A nice chocobo forest check. I know Tybalt was here earlier, but Potato also found a big bomb. A really nice J item does AoE fire damage, especially if somebody like Sid throws it. It's based on your HP, and it really scales up.
Yep, and with having a Sid in the party, that's gonna do some nice damage early on. And we see Tiffle's side just doing a little party rearrangement after taking out the officer and his lackeys. And
Yeah, got to throw all of them off the bridge.
yep, I don't know about you, Sheep Launcher, but I'm always a fan. Like after doing that back attack on Ordeals, literally just sitting there and listening for the little water droplet sploosh at the end.
Boop. You got to check for the boop. That's the sign of quality.
Yep.
The prize, of course, is Cecil transforming into his noble self, but the other prize is a power shirt, and there is a Mylon.
Wow.
Yeah,
Just everyone showing
Mylon
up.
Z hanging out in the changing room. Didn't want to fall off the bridge today. He's like, those guards can take care of that.
Yep, you know, he just like a particular pop song from the 90s, it's a long way down.
I don't know if he can make it on his own.
Good people right there. It's a good song. If you don't know who it is, folks, it is the Goo Goo Dolls.
And it's an album track, so
Yes.
you know, me and Wizard, we're simpatico. But Tybalt does take care of Mylon Z. And Mom Bomb is invading Fabul. Warlink has gone to defend Fabul. That's very noble of him.
Yeah, and you know, it's actually funny that the Goo Goo Dolls are mentioned because our objective number 4 does state to the underworld and dolls.
Oh, I learned Medio, by the way.
Huzzah!
I'm not sure if I have enough MP to pass it. I'll give it a shot.
If only you had a drop of something to wet your taste buds for casting how so long.
I'm gonna save it for Kane.
Okay.
I think he needs it more than me.
Yeah, you know, I mean, Kane is all high and mighty, jumping around from cloud to cloud. I mean, what does he even do when he's up there? Is he just taking a siesta? Just, you know, little nap?
Have you ever seen Goo Goo Dolls in concert?
They
Blue?
were actually my very first band ever seen. No, I'm sorry. It was. Actually, no, I think, yeah, it was Smash Mouth and the Goo Goo Dolls as my very
Wow.
first concert.
I saw Goo Goo Dolls live, and Lisa Loeb opened for them.
Oh,
So
very nice.
there's a 90s hit for you. I've always loved Lisa Loeb, and she appeared randomly on the series finale of Gossip Girl, which, you know,
I mean,
life
I don't
contains
care.
multitudes.
Yeah, I don't care who you are. Everyone watched. Oh wait, no, the Gossip, the Gilmore Girls, and just Seventh Heaven. I mean, we all watched it. It was nice. It was a great time. And speaking of a great time, it looks like Potato is having a great time with Antlion up there.
And Tybalt did pick up some silk webs from Fabul. Silk web's a great item to have a couple of in your back pocket. I believe he also picked up some kamikazes, which do damage equivalent to your HP. Silk webs, of course, cast 2 instances of slow. Warlink 05 taking the hook he got from the king and using it to go into Cave Evelyn. Not really interested in anything in the Evelyn shop, but there is a character down here, and he does get some knowledge about who the second boss is going to be.
Yep, and with S standard on, you know, as soon as you get some kind of underground access, you want to go down there just ASAP to try and get some of that better tiered, you know, items, equipment. Maybe peek the boss over at the Fame Arch.
Now,
But
we're not yet guaranteed that this is going to be a hook seed, but it's very possible that this is a hook seed. But even then, we're still going to be on the lookout for the magma seed. And is it just so we can say we can get underground now?
That's entirely possible, but the line cannot be said unless the conditions are met.
And the other reason is that actually, even if a magma key is not required to get underground, it is an objective to find the magma key and drop it down the well. And to get the most glorious text box in this entire game, well, that's gone. And Warlink did see who was hanging out in the hook route. That was a Tella that he picked up, and the second boss is a Sparkle. We haven't seen any of the moon bosses yet, so it could be any of the 5.
This is true. And with Tella available and no sirens yet, you know what that means.
I do know what that means, but Warlink is going to at least. He's not checking uh, for uh, for the Mad Ogres, so this might just be an information peak. But if Warlink were to get through the first boss, Wizard, which of the moon bosses would you, if you were running, least like to see in the second spot?
Um, ooh. So
We know it
I
can't be
think
Wyvern if
right.
if a magma key is above ground somewhere.
So out of the moon bosses, I think personally, uh, there are 2, and that's going to be, uh, well, actually, D-Lunars aren't that bad there, but I would say either Ogopogo or Plague.
Both are tricky in their own ways. Ogopogo is just a beast no matter where you find it. Plague goes fast there, um, and that count is just absolutely relentless. The King Queen Evelyn spot, by the way, Dark Knight Cecil. That hits
Yes,
hard. That is
I
nasty.
I have actually run specifically because I mean different party comps and different flag sets. I have actually run specific seeds with DKC at that spot, um, just so I can gain the knowledge and experience of different compositions for fighting that King Queen Edward spot because it's just the average damage that he dishes out is just that right amount that if you don't have like say a Pally Cecil of a certain level or a Sid or a Yang, it's gonna do just the right amount of damage to give you a really bad day.
So, what do our runners need to do in order to prepare for that Dark Knight Cecil?
Well, if in the event that it is a Dark Knight Cecil, you want to have your uh, you want to either have Cure 2, at least Cure 2s, or somebody who can cast Cure 2 and above, uh, to be able to, because you only need to, if 3 bosses are on, you only need to survive 3 waves. After that, he gives his speech about justice and not being a terrible person. Uh, but you want to be able to at least get 1 cure off, and cure every other wave. Because if you die in that 3rd wave, well, you have to start the fight over again.
Yeah, it's all a matter of not only having enough HP to withstand a couple of the waves, but you only need to have 1 character survive that fight because you do get a full heal afterward, or at least before you get to the. So you need to kind of concentrate all of your efforts to keeping that 1 person alive. Usually, it's Sid or Paladin Cecil who will have the most HP of anybody in this party.
Yep, and speaking of HP, we see on Fried Dough Potato side him getting an off-slot Odin cast on the Staleman chest. Well, the Staleman plus bones. Nothing
Yeah, those
particular.
skeletons.
Nothing
A Dragoon
particularly
Lance.
great, but
Yeah, if Kane ever shows up, that'll be nice for him.
yep, Kane or an Edge.
An Edge can certainly dart that. And meanwhile, first person to check out Baron Inn is E-Ninja up in the upper left corner, and he finds Rosa having lunch with Yang. I think that's lovely.
Yep.
But apparently, Young wants to do us harm. There won't even be enough time for him to say ouch.
Yep. And that is a great replacement of a white mage. Because
Yeah,
definitely would
absolutely,
rather Rosa over Poro.
absolutely no need to sit through that package cutscene.
There's a
Potato,
crystal sword.
yes, a crystal sword from the Mad Ogre chest, which he got from another great Odin cast. And meanwhile, Ninja finding the Canadian Nope Rope, Ogopogo in the second spot here, and we'll see if Ogopogo also goes winless in this group stage. Uh, he will be slow here, but will definitely hit hard, and waves are waves no matter where you encounter him.
Yep. So because on Ogopogo he does do two types of waves, whereas you have Leviathan doing his wave and it doing a quarter of your max health and damage. Ogopogo will alternate between his 25% max health damage and 50%. I think it's something like wave or double wave, punch punch, single wave, punch punch, and then double wave again. I mean, if you have it on Battle Speed 1, depending on where you find them, I hope you have lots of potions.
E-Ninja is through
Yep, and
that
clicking.
noodle and gets a pan.
I want to point out the irony real quick. So, beat Yang, gets the pan, takes the pan, whacks the Yang.
It's Youngs and pans all the way down.
Yep.
But meanwhile, Potato right behind him, and look how effortlessly Potato is making it look. That crystal sword really doing work like a hot knife through butter.
Yep, like a hot scythe through eight floors of Inferno.
Very true. And Potato will also get his pan, and we'll see if he's confident enough now that he's tackled Evelyn, gotten his holy sword, and really has nothing else to do in the overworld. It's time for the hook route, I think. Well, he does have the twin harp. We'll see if he gives us music.
Oh yeah, checking the back of Watery Pass. Yeah, I think in Potato's situation, it's just kind of you have a crystal sword Cecil and a black belt in his case, because I think that's one of the things he picked up early on. You have a crystal sword, black belt Cecil. Time to go melt the seed.
Yep. Yep, very true. And actually, Potato hasn't gone to Fabula yet, so he doesn't yet have a way to get underground. And E-Ninja, going to be the first runner of the people. It looks like he is on his way to check out a harp.
Yep, because I believe E-Ninja is team Harp.
As all decent people are.
I know, we try. I alternate. And
Ooh,
by
having a little bit of trouble catching that black joke about they are slippery.
They are.
I don't know if Ali greased them up with Crisco before this race. It wouldn't surprise me.
No, I think Ali just kind of turned off the lights before they went to the Chocobo Forest.
Kind of playing blind man's bluff.
Yep.
Now, E-Ninja going to loot out the Cave Magnus here, and the loot here not as great as you think it would be. T Wildish waits the treasure, and since you don't actually need to have the harp in order to access Cave Magnus, the weights here just aren't terrific.
Yep. And well, we see Tybalt wrapping up his Baron in check. Warlink about to wrap up his ordeals check, and let's see. Yep. We are about to get some music here. And curious to see. Sheep Launcher, any guesses on the music?
Oh, I can never guess the music. There's just too many songs. It's a fool's errand. I did want to say, And thanks, Fiery Blizzard, for calling me out in chat. I did say the loot in Cave Magnus not terrific, and then E Ninja goes and picks up both a black belt and a Stardust Rod.
uh,
And a crystal
contradictions.
helm, which is going to be a buco dinero. So, uh, you know, thanks E Ninja for making me look stupendous.
Yep, and we see Ninja getting the start of this fight. Got a couple things to take care of before transitioning on. Uh, I'll go ahead and and I know it's been a little while since I've done comms here, but I still do remember this spiel about. So we will go ahead and there's somebody help me out here with the number. I think the last I checked, there was something like 700 songs or
It's
something
a
like that.
it's a lot.
400. It's an arbitrary number that's not in the thousands yet.
Yeah,
Um,
it's
all
high three digits.
90. Yeah, okay, there we go. 400
Yeah,
ish.
yeah.
Emphasis on the ish, but we will continue to talk through this music because I mean, what's good music without good comms? Am I right?
Exactly. That's what the
Right?
people want, is for us
Yeah,
to keep talking. And we're
exactly.
going to keep talking. And if you don't hear us talking now, well, that boss certainly left us begging for more Chrono Trigger music. That was the Zeal theme from Chrono Trigger, and Potato does get the Earth Crystal uh, for that.
Yep. I mean, sometimes you just have to let bygones be bygones.
And uh, E Ninja does finish up right afterward. E Ninja got into that fight well before Potato, but you saw how powerful that crystal sword is. Ninja doesn't have it, Potato does, and sometimes it's just that simple.
Yep, and we see actually, we saw Warlink go down into the Cave Evelyn shop, pick up a stack 10 of coffins because, I mean, just you've got coffins, run to the Evelyn and get all the trap chests.
Yeah, and once both Tybalt and Warlink will discover their crystal swords, those Bacchuses for sale in Eblin Cave will become much more impressive as well. But it's time to rate that treasury.
That is, ooh,
Not
oh,
great.
what, speak for yourself. That first, I mean, there was a Zeus gauntlet in there.
Okay, that Zeus Gauntlet makes it worth it all by itself.
And I think another power, yep, as chat's pointing out, another power shirt.
But
Power shirt, Zeus
the
gauntlet.
back half had a lightsaber and a ninja hat, which
The ninja had 10 cent, but you know the lightsaber can be sold for, how she put it, mucho dinero. It's gonna light up someone's day by providing very shiny coin,
that's true.
especially if you're Khajiit.
And a light sword. It's nothing to sneeze at if you don't have a crystal sword. But
Yep.
now that they have a crystal sword, you can sneeze at it a lot.
Ooh,
That's the
ninja
Kleenex.
going up against the critically acclaimed inventory boss.
Ah,
Although that lunar staff is a nice stat stick.
yeah, for that Rosa will definitely buff up her white magic stats. Tybalt and Warlink continuing to press on, and Warlink getting to the Staleman and Skulls will eventually get a Dragoon Spear out of this. Still no Kane to be found.
No, not yet.
There
And
were two
actually, now that
white spears in that treasury, along with a protect ring.
yep, which
As
technically
well,
for
so.
some of our runners, that's a second protect ring, which is actually pretty nice.
So Potato will be the first up, the Tower of Zot. I like this play. You don't know quite what's at the bottom of the hook rat. You're right here. Might as well find out who is up at the Tower of Zot. And it turns out the first fight very much free.
Fight? What fight?
Keblin and Queblin are going to be doing a whole lot of Nebulin. That I was going somewhere when that
You know,
sentence started.
I feel like that's one of those things that sounded better in your head, and I think I can see where you were going.
Uh-huh. I appreciate it. You can just let me hang out to dry and let me face the consequences of my actions. It's okay.
That's okay. You know, I can let you hang out to dry, but don't worry, I've got long arms. I got you.
And
And much like them being Kevlin, Queblin, and Neblin, they are Ganezo.
yes, absolutely done for. They will not dread. Although it is, they do threaten to drag us down into the Hades, which is Virgil's job usually. And there is an edge.
Ooh.
Now, Potato, I'm assuming has that piece of Hanzo steel. I didn't actually see him pick it up, but has enough lances, and with the one piece of Hanzo steel, Edge will be a valuable member. And there is Kane in French vanilla being tied up for once.
Yep. So, I mean, it's going to present our runners with a lot of options. And while our runners make those options, and well, the bottom half of our runners finish clearing through Evelyn, I'd like to go ahead and give a shout out to our runners this evening: E Ninja 81, Fried Dough Potato, Tybolt, and Warlenko 5 for allowing us to restream them. as well as our various other runners who are running this same seed off stream. Please also go ahead and give a huge thank you to all of the people behind the scenes. NG Dave pushing the buttons, Adlisale providing the restream, my co-commentator Sheep Launcher. Thank you very much, everyone.
And thank you to the Blue Wizard. Don't settle for just any Blue Wizard. Go with the Blue Wizard.
Coming soon to the town near you.
Yeah, give him a follow. A very fine follow indeed. And did you see Potato's party choice? Sid is no more. Keeping that Rydia on.
You know, I'm seeing a very pastel color swatch with the characters here.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of pinks and purples and whites. And then
I love
Kane.
I love that green cane. Green cane might just be my favorite.
It's very I almost get like a Swamp Thing type vibe.
Swamp Thing.
Yeah. where were you going?
And Bahamut at the top, just reminding us how useless education is. Trying to teach us counting, and we have absolutely no interest.
Yeah, because isn't Bahamut technically not a dragon in this?
I can never tell which of the pseudo dragons are dragons and which are not dragons.
That's right. Bahamut's not a dragon. Wyvern is a dragon. I think it's Pale Dim is a dragon. Leviathan is a dragon. D-Lunars are dragons. And then Ogopogo's not a dragon.
Well, when is a door not a door? When it's a jar.
Aha. I love it.
Hey, guess what? More music.
More music.
We apologize for that cutting off of the music, but we have heard that Chrono Trigger before. It is always nice, and Tibble threw it in a flash anyway.
Gone in a flash and without a trace.
And Potato making his way down into the hook route. We'll see if we get music for Warlink. Doesn't look like it. And that's okay. Potato getting his Sage. So yeah, he hasn't been down here to see Telly. Do you keep Tella over that Rydia wizard?
Yeah, and because, you know, the best time is right now. I totally threw my joke and punchline out the window. Nobody knew it. But a question for you, Sheep Launcher.
Yeah.
Do you know what the best kind of magic a wizard can cast is?
The one the wizard has enough MP for?
That would be Chronomancy.
Oh, the time magic.
Yes, and as we've seen here tonight, all of the Chrono Trigger playing for all of our lovely viewers.
Yes,
And
very much so. And you
with
know,
that, we see Warlango 5 taking out his.
and Warlink oh 05 does get through. The Viking will get his vanilla Earth Crystal, but yeah, the time magic, although there isn't a specific category of time mage as there is in Final Fantasy V, the kind of time magic still very important in this game. Uh, and uh, for example, like with this Cecil being your agility anchor, it's going to be really important for our runners if they run into a rude boss somewhere or with that Zeronis fight to know precisely how to hasten their own characters and slow down the enemy.
Yep, and so and help me out. I mean, you or Chad or whomever. With Cecil being the hero, because I know that vanilla agility is something like 20. And I'm curious to know, like, is that the same in this flag set with Cecil being the hero?
So the vanilla agility means that either that Cecil is your agility anchor or the character in the middle is your agility anchor. And so Cecil's agility, whatever that is, Cecil reaches 20 agility at about level 40, something like that. I know, or sorry, at about level 35. Um, I know he reaches 26 agility between levels 44 and 45, but Cecil's agility in Hero, even if there's somebody else in the center slot, as you see, Potato has somebody else in the center slot, Cecil's agility is still going to be the one that guides everything else.
Yep, and we talked about absolute rudeness, and there we see DKC doing that atrocious 500 damage, 500 and change damage. Um, just not a good day.
Yeah, Potato not prepared for that. Probably figured he could take just about any enemy there. DKC, one of the few that you just can't, and is going to try to get some additional HP. We'll get some additional EXP with the Mad Ogres. And so the Mad Ogres here could give a really nice key item. Also, if he wants to, there are boxes for sale, but if he wants to be a bit cheeky about it, uh, Edge could sneak a box wine or two from these Mad Ogres. That is what is available to steal.
Yep, and curious to know, like we've seen a crystal sword, but maybe we'll see an X-Cal, something nice for Edge to Dart, or maybe we'll just see another white shirt.
Or, hey, maybe double crystal sword.
Yep, just like to assert dominancy, by trashing the crystal swords.
Yes. Yes, we better see that. Or real quick, turning the omnidextrous flag on.
Yeah,
In
we
his.
allowed to make pseudo meta objectives, just trash canning the crystal swords.
I mean, you start your own club, and you can make that the one goal.
That is entirely fair. And speaking of community clubs, if you would like to go and check out the Discord, where we have tons of awesome people, lots of good resources, and where all of the community clubs, like the Divine Comedy here that is being run tonight, are located. Check out the link that was above and the link that our fantastic Scala Kitty just linked again. I'm on there.
Yes.
Sheep Launcher's on there. We're all
Yeah.
on there.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to hang out. One of the best communities on the entire internet, willing to help you out and cheer you on no matter what level you are with this game.
Yep.
And yeah,
Yeah, because I mean, whether you're a seasoned veteran of the game or if you're just starting out, we have all different kinds of groups and collections of people. There's even a community club for brand new people called the Pink Puff League, where it's all about learning the game, learning the flags, the seeds, how everything is, and just having a good time.
Very much so. And Potato is through on the second time of asking. It did cost him both a Cure 3 and an Elixir to do it. But you use those items because you have them. I don't know how many times I finished this game with like 50 Cure 2s in my inventory uh, just because I thought I would need them at some point, and I never used them, and you can't take them with you.
Nope. And I kind of wonder on a totally random note, do you suppose like after Pally Cecil defeats his former shadow self, he just kind of whispers under his breath that he is vengeance? Like defeats the Dark Knight, like I am vengeance now.
I'm Cecil. I am the knight.
Nah, except he would be the light. Like I am light. He's
And
uh,
Potato has met his match. Finds D's Lunars.
yep, he's definitely got a bone to pick with them, that's for sure.
Going to Berserk Cecil, and that is
And that's the end of
dangerous.
the fight.
Although with that crystal sword, it's less dangerous than it usually is.
Yeah, I mean, there's with the D-Lunars, there's a couple of ways around this fight. I mean, in Potato's case, he can just quad 9 them to death. Um, if you don't have a Crystal Sword Cecil in the party, and you wait, I believe it's 5 turns. Yeah, it's 5 turns, and then drop a Star Veil and have them just Dark Breath reflect against themselves to turn them into toads.
Yeah, but the reason the fight command is so dangerous is if you fight the either D Lunar and they survive, they immediately put up walls and start bouncing viruses off each other,
Yep.
which is super painful. It really is.
Oh yeah, and especially with Virus being one of the fastest spells in the game to cast,
Yeah.
uh, they're just gonna pop them off left or right until your party's no more. And speaking of things that can kill you and make you no more, we see E Ninja 81 going up against the rudest trap chest in the seed in the game, and that is the Staleman chest. Sheep Launcher, why is the Staleman chest the rudest trap chest
They're
in the game?
they're just so annoying. They have a high physical defense. They can cast sleep on you. They're just super annoying.
Yep, they super high defense, and much like we see on E Ninja's side, one punch knocked to sleep. That is especially rude if you've got your Pally Cecil doing cover strats and he gets put to sleep.
Yeah, and they don't give you all that much EXP. Sometimes you get a good item out of it. In Ninja's case, he gets a plain white tea. So hey there, Delilah. But Potato is through. Got into the underground just over 44 minutes. Did give us a peek at the top of Tower Boss. That is Evil Wall. Evil Wall up there, not terrible. Um, it's the physical attack there isn't bad. It just has a lot of HP, and Wizard, you know that the Keyless Tower is the correct play 100% of the time.
Yep,
So we'll see if
40%
that
of the
comes
time.
back to bite him.
Yep,
Oh, that's a Darkness Crystal from Young.
all
Wow.
right, let's go.
Yeah. So that is an objective all by itself to summon the big whale. That gives him access to another objective, gives him access to 8 more boss jacks. That is a huge, uh, uh, a huge pickup, and all of our runners have the pan, so that will be one of the first checks they all make when they get underground. But Potato is just there first.
Yep, and we see that going Potato going down into the Fey March. Uh, both to grab that key item and to go ahead and see just who in fact is down here.
Yep, a free key item in that chest. Two more boss checks, and if there's nothing there, I think Potato might be in full face check mode. What do you think, Wizard?
I think you're absolutely right. Uh, except, however, K Summon is on, so it would
True.
do our runners to depending on who's down there, give them a whirl, see what they drop.
Oh, and that's bonus round two. That's a demist with an Ashura, and uh, Potato not interested, has other things to do, but did pick up I believe that was a vanilla rat tail from the rat tail class.
Yep, that it most certainly was. Definitely a scoop of vanilla.
And going to check out Dwarf Castle, another two boss checks and another two key item checks because that warp glitch is on. And
Yep,
the
and
bosses we have found so far, by the way, we have to defeat 7 bosses in total. We have all of our runners have defeated Ruby on Hobbs, Valvalis in the Antlion Cave, and Mylon Z on the top of Mad Ordeals.
yep, so definitely like just on the overworld, a lot has already been covered. And I'm thinking that pretty much the rest is well, on the moon.
Could be. Could also, if you want to get technical about it, it could be in 2 of the spots in Baron Castle. It could be behind the Tower Key. Could be in the Luca Cave. And so our Earth Crystal check revealed that a Sparkle is hiding behind Dr. Luge at Dwarf Castle, so a little bit annoying, but not lethal.
Yep, definitely not the worst thing to see here.
So Ninja taking on random encounters here
And
really wants to beef up his party before taking on that DKC. Meanwhile, Tibble through DKC, fighting these Lunars and using that Lunar Frog strat we were talking about.
yep, not it's not a hard strat to pull off. However, if you star veil the wrong person, like say Edge, that star veil will wear off really quick.
Warlink heading into that Dark Knight Cecil fight will stare into the Dark Knight of the Soul and face these Dark Waves. Has 2 characters of above 1200 HP because he kept that Sid. We'll see which one he wants to keep alive, and it looks like Cecil will get there first.
Yep. Although that second wave, did almost take him out.
Yep, but had about 60 more HP than he needed. Tybalt is through, goes through the pitfall. Someday our runners will find a way to avoid that. I know it.
I'm certain. If only there was some character that could just jump really good.
Eh,
If only.
If only. Well, Potato had one, and I believe Tybalt has one as well. And the betrayal has led us to the bottom of this pitfall once again.
Yep. He did have a cane do attitude, but just
Sure.
wasn't enough.
Kane was not able.
I like that one. That's a double pun.
Potato did make it through Dwarf Castle, gets an adamant rock from Luca that she was wearing around her neck, uses the warp glitch to get another key item, just an assassin dagger. So the Luca Cave, the Seal Cave, still in play.
Yep. I feel like the adamant rock really isn't even a shiny rock. It's more of a pet rock because it doesn't actually do anything until you get its better half.
That's true. But did you know that the pet rock can tell the weather?
I did not.
Yeah, well, If your pet rock is bright, then it's sunny. If your pet rock is wet, then it's raining. If
Hmm.
your pet rock has a white layer on it, then it's snowing. If your pet rock is gone, then it's windy.
I, oh, that makes sense. I was reading the book the other day. Good old Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, yeah. Uh,
That explains
fr-
where all the rocks went.
Frankly, my blue, I don't give a damn.
Why did Jack Nicholson suddenly pop up in my head?
Because I'm handsome and debonair.
Hmm. Oh, smart way to
And
go.
another piece of Hanzo steal from Potato from that rat tail. Not from the pink tail, from the rat tail.
Yep, and we see actually Warlingo 5 also doing the deep breath reflect strat. Doing the deep breath on these lunars.
Yeah. And E Ninja doing a really smart thing here. Took a couple of fights to beef up his party and turning his battle speed way, way down. And this will give him enough time to get those curative items off on that Cecil in the middle, which he needs all the time he could get. That Cecil's still a little under leveled. We'll see if he can make it through this second Dark Wave here. Just makes it through.
Yep, but it. See, the thing about that is his edge went before Cecil, in which case, so if your menuing speed is not up to a certain level, you're gonna need that extra battle speed time to either, in that case, would have been parry, or to like parry on the edge, so you can quickly get over to the Cecil uh, to get that cure 2 or that cure 3 off, because you want to get, I want to say it's above 632 health, I think is the cap for that spot. Uh, so like the 623 that we saw earlier, that was like almost at the max.
Yeah, real high roll.
Yeah. But on the low end, it's something like 457, give or take.
Hmm.
It's still atrocious for that spot, but uh, it is doable.
Tybalt making a really interesting call here and fighting this Demus should be very doable with blinks, but it will take a while. And maybe Tybalt feels like he needs to make a play in order to have a chance of really having success here.
Yep. The illusion J item, Edge having image if his level's high enough, uh, Rosa with blink. It is doable. It takes a little bit.
Potato, meanwhile, going to the moon. Uh, and summoning the big whale, our first on-stream runner to summon the big whale. A reminder: there are 7 runners in total, and we will be keeping you updated as to all of their progressions. But Hourglass 2's for sale on the moon. Very nice.
That is a good find. That'll definitely help out if you want to go ahead and do like a gold dragon grind, or well, really anything that involves a grind when you can't find sirens.
So, Wizard, uh, Potato going straight to Cave Bahamut here. With and this is the question I have: would you go to the Masamune altar first, considering it could be a double dip and it is a required objective?
Oh, definitely. However, a question to you, Launcher. Uh, do you do a bit of grinding before go checking the altar, or do you just go straight to the altar, hoping that it's a free fight?
I mean, I'm one of those people who considers that if I'm not at level 99, I probably could use some more levels. But yeah, the good thing about being in Cave Bahamut is you get to see who the boss is before you tangle with them, and the boss is on the same level as Gold Dragons, which is the best grinding opportunity on the moon.
Yes, but
Ha!
did you know?
Ha ha ha! Go
What?
ahead.
Did we see a Golbez? Where?
Yeah, we
Where?
did. That was a
He
kid
did, but he
vomit.
said, uh, 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 so fun fact is that on that same floor where the boss is and the gold dragons lie, that if you step on very specific tiles, that you'll like if you were to say trigger a siren, or turn on random encounters, you actually can and very much will run into behemoths instead.
Yes, another grind opportunity if you really need it, but behemoths are just a bear to get through.
And speaking of what this seed should not have in it, we see the uh, the ya of the foo of the so.
More vanilla, a vanilla moon mop, and sirens for sale in Tamra. By the way, Tybalt taking down the demist in a very nice fight gets the tower key. What an
Ooh,
interesting key item there.
that's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it plays out.
And uh, and it looks like Potato did not replace the old man Sage with the old man Mop, instead replacing Rosa. Interesting play
Uh,
there.
yeah, I I'm curious to know about that actually now. Maybe double utility.
And it certainly could be. Um, Fu has instant access to Blink. I don't know if Rosa learned Blink as yet. I'm sure she did.
Yeah, I mean Blink, Cure 4.
Yeah.
That's an Odin, so a relatively free fight.
And our restreamer pointing out, and that's something we should have mentioned. There are 10 objectives in total. Our runners need to complete 8 of them in order to win the game. There's no Z fight to worry about, so the lack of HP among the old men, or the lack of MP, I should say, among the old men, not as big a concern. You just have to get through these smaller fights. You don't need to have that big pool that's so useful in the Zeromus fight.
Was it was it 10 or 8?
So there are 10 objectives to do. Our runners need to complete 8 of them.
Fantastic. Because even though that this is Owen game, you still can't exit out of Fabul Castle.
That's true.
I'm salty over that fact, and I try to do it every time, and it never works.
Yeah, well, the storyline says you can't, so you
Um,
can't.
grumble, grumble, grumble. I'm a wizard. I should be able to exit out of Fabul Castle if I want to.
Tybalt and Warlink both taking care of their doctor calls.
Yep.
Potato did take down that Odin.
Yep. They because while the physical attack power at that spot is not it's not high at all, the magic at that spot really isn't anything to, well, with the Crystal Sword Cecil, really isn't anything to care about.
And Tybalt making it through that plague, and you have to wonder if that tower key is really burning a hole in Tybalt's pocket. Tybalt might be thinking nobody else has done this Demus. That might be a chain to take to its conclusion. Not to mention whatever item the Mist Dragon is holding.
Yep. And I mean, sitting there, because it's you go ahead and you do the warp glitch, you see what that gives, and then do you do the tower since you're underground still, or do you look at that darkness crystal and go, well, that's another character check?
Yeah, I don't know that Tybalt has any reason to be really focused on getting another character at this point. I think it's all about getting key items and getting boss checks to be able to fill out those objectives. I think he should be confident in the party he has to get him there.
Yep. And knowing Tibble, I think I'm pretty sure that he's gonna go and check that tower spot just because it's a super quick check.
Yeah, might do the half tower play.
Yep.
And not go all the way to the top of the tower to tangle with that evil wall, but check out who is in the super cannon room. And speaking of another objective, Potato finding the dolls, the Calbrena, another Dante's Inferno uh, inspired name here at the uh, Crystal Sword altar. Stops the back dolls, and this is all academic from here.
You know, no matter what setting or the scenario is, the Calbrainer dolls are always going to be creepy.
Yes, very much so. Especially if you let them turn into the big doll.
Yep, turn into a big doll, and then you know it just becomes less creepy and a little bit more awkward every time. Because if you don't defeat all six Braina dolls within, I think it's 3 turns, they turn into the one massive doll. However, if you don't beat the massive doll in a certain amount of turns or time, they transform back into the six and just keep rinsing and repeating.
Tybalt, meanwhile, goes into the tower room and finds it's a server room, and instead will take down the CPU. Not a big deal. We'll see if Tybalt goes all the way to the top of the tower or if Tybalt heads back down.
Yep, and as chat wondering why Tella is down, if this is C here, well, yes, much like it's been pointed out, Tella is very squishy. His old man bones are a bit brittle. Excuse me, his old man overworld bones are very brittle. He did not drink his Ovaltine.
Yeah, need some Centrum Silver there. And more value on the moon. A Potato finding the elements. And once he gets through this, this will be 6 out of 8 objectives. Warlake summoning the big whale, and this is a big moment for Tybalt. Meanwhile, I do want to shout out E Ninja for getting through that DKC. Now messing with these lunars.
Which loners?
These ones.
Ah, these ones.
These dare.
I see what you mean.
And Tybalt just gets a ribbon. So that tower key not leading to anything.
Nope, but that's okay because it was a relatively quick check. A little tiny bit of experience, very negligible, but still a quick check.
Potato got a crystal. Are you excited? It's a crystal.
Whose butt are we? Oh wait, hang on.
Oh wait.
Nope. Sorry, wrong win condition.
And
Yep,
usually I say wrong crystal when a runner pick up a crystal ring or something. But this is the wrong crystal because it's a crystal, and he didn't even need it to get to 10 key items. Absolutely not worth it.
Yeah, well, actually, so even though that this is a win condition game, the crystal itself still serves as a key item, and not only as a key item, but it can be used as an item to affect the enemy into doing something.
And what is that effect?
Uh, graphics.
Yeah. Yes.
It looks pretty.
Yeah.
However, though, I'm kind of curious. I kind of want to test this out now. And Chad, help me out here. If you use the crystal on Rubicon, does it trigger anything?
Ooh.
Because I know that if you hit Rubicon with, say, a fire spell, he'll go ahead and cast life on your entire party. So I'm curious if you use the crystal as an item on Rubicon, what happens?
Hmm. So, this is actually a double dip uh, objective. This is the Masamune altar and the Kainatsu on Potato's side. So if he makes it through, he has won the game.
Yep, and as a weapon of turtle destruction is what that is.
And there are no other finishers as yet. So Potato, as far as we know, in the driver's seat to take down this game will have 8 out of 10 objectives completed. But Kainatsu at the Masamune altar, one of the toughest spots you can find him in. But Potato is mostly through. He's hiding inside the shell.
Yep, he's just a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, just turtle on a half shell.
And will do remedies, which will be annoying, but that crystal sword will cut him down to size. As with most other enemies, Kainatsu is weak to the most OP weapon in the game. And he's done it! Fried
Huzzah!
dough potato just has to get through this little speech. Will receive the Baron Key, but that will not matter because he has won the game. 8 objectives complete.
GG's to Frido Potato. You can. Oh, in this particular case, he does not get boiled, mashed, stuck in a stew. He is only fried.
Nope, and he finishes first with an official time of 1:08:56. We'll see if we could get him in for an interview.
Yep, looks like he is available for an interview. And by that thing in my ear, a ring of the chime, that is our first place winner, Fried Potato. GG's.
GG.
So it's always fun to have a win game kind of thing. What was your strategy, especially once you found that crystal sword? How did you want to prioritize your checks?
I definitely wanted to just try to clear things as quick as I could. Try to beeline as many boss locations as I could early. Those hit real early, and then kind of in the middle there wasn't anything since the rest of them seemed to be up on the moon. But and then yeah, get underground. I was really hoping for a magma key for the objective and underground, but it was not to be. So good old hooker out, which it was nice to have the crystal sword since it was a hooker out, although DKC, fun times.
Yeah, DKC at that spot, never easy. Now, one of the curious moves that we wanted your perspective on. When you got to the moon, you found Fu and you replaced Rosa in your party, keeping Tella. What was your thinking there?
Just a little more anchoring from the Tella in case it was necessary for one of the spots. And just having the more utility spells. Like Rosa was good, but Fu and Tella together kind of have everything. And so Rosa had taken some hits. She died. She just wasn't really high enough level. Ultimately, was the thing. If she had been higher and already had Cure 4, I would have kept her probably and taken Fu over Tella. But because she was lower level, I swapped her out.
Yeah, well, when you say anchoring, I guess we want to know how does that factor in, given that this was a sea hero seed?
Oh, that's true. You're right. Forget about that sort of stuff. I don't play Sea Hero very often, even though it's like big red letters on my tracker. Yeah, I don't even think about that. So yeah, my whole anchoring thing. No wonder everything was all screwy the whole game. That makes sense. Yeah.
Hey,
I knew what ordeals because I saved. I switched Cecil around equipment wise to get ready for the ordeals fight. But after that, because he had the crystal sword and everything was just dying so fast, there were no fights other than the Odin fight that it really ended up costing me on, I guess. as far as like that sort of thing. But yeah,
Yeah,
good
I
to
mean,
remember the flags when you're playing. I'm really glad it wasn't a Z fight because I would have had a disastrous first Z fight. It would have been stories. Yeah.
well, at least there wasn't an Avenger to have potentially clogged up the gears
Yeah, yeah.
in that case. But I mean, when much like you said, when you have a Crystal Sword, especially a Crystal Sword, Power Shirt, Zeus Gauntlet, Cecil, it's
Yeah.
just okay. Let's go melt the seed.
Yeah, that was real nice to have that. I was really happy to hit that Crystal Sword so early, and I felt really bad mid game replacing Rydia because she did work for me early game. You know, a lot of work. The Odin cast and Eblin made those trap chests really fast. So
Yep, and we saw. So when going down to the Fey March and knowing that K Summon is on, or if you knew K Summon was on, uh,
yeah,
what was your mentality? Seeing that versus going to or something.
if there had been a free boss down there or a required boss, I was gonna take it. Otherwise, I was just gonna fade it and come back later. I had gotten the darkness already from the pan. If I hadn't gotten that, I may have considered. That demist. Demist in the Fey March is never a fight. I don't care which spot she's at. If I'm running Crystal Sword Cecil, especially, I don't really want to see her, uh, you know, down there. So yeah, I just didn't plan. And what was it, Asura at Levy? I didn't have any mute gear, no rune axe, so I just gonna come back later if I have to. But with that darkness crystal, that was a lot of spots open, a lot of bosses, and that's like you can almost beat the seed entirely just off bosses. And if they're on the moon, you really can't because of where like how the objectives roll. So
Yep.
So, which level of Dante's Inferno was this seed, do you think?
medium. I ran some practice ones that were really jetty. I've been looking forward to this flag set. I wanted to race on Monday, but wasn't able to. So this was one of the longer ones, but I kind of lucked out with the double at Massa. It's kind of what I was thinking on the moon. I was like, I'm gonna just go, top down, because if I get one or two bosses out of the way, by the time I get to that Massa altar, I could be done. So that's what happened.
Well, it was a really fun race to see, and as you said, a really kind of delightful flag set. A lot of different tests of ability for you.
Yeah.
Deep Blue Wizard, any last questions for Fried Dough Potato?
Would you find yourself running this again?
Yeah, oh for sure. I usually don't like boss hunts, especially mixed in with objectives, but this is themed in a way, and just because win game, your chances of getting me on board are way higher if it's win game, because I don't have to fight Zeromus and maybe mess up and lose several minutes of my time, and that's a frustrating experience for me when I died to Zeromus, and I'm not super good, so it happens a lot. But the way this is themed and what the objectives are plus the bosses, it's just really fun. Plus, it's just, other than Sea Hero potentially throwing me for a loop, everything else is right up my alley.
Well, folks, you heard it here. Our first place winner would play this seed and this flag set again. Potato, any last words before we part ways for the evening?
Thanks, everybody on the Restream team, tracking, commentating, restreaming, and just all the admins behind the scenes. This club season's awesome. Community races are going to be a blast, and I'm really looking forward to doing a bunch of cool themed and just different races and see what's out there. So everybody, thank you all, and have a wonderful evening.
And you have a fantastic evening yourself. You definitely earned it. Thank you again.
And GG's once again to Potato. Everybody should follow Potato's lead and get involved with as many club races and community races as you can in whatever capacity you can. Racing or commentating or just watching along. so much fun and really a delight.
Yep, and honestly, the great thing about the free enterprise kind of just game is that like on the site on the FF4FE site, you can build whatever kind of seed you want. You can hit the random everything. You can customize it to the nines. You can make everything free. Give yourself a party of 5 Fusoyas or 5 Cecils, or just kind of play around with it. Have some fun. You don't even have to know the game from start to finish.
Well, we did mention earlier that we have 4 featured runners on screen, but we have 7 total runners, and we have a second place finisher. Beauty and Discovery has finished in second with a time of 1:14:33. GG's to Beauty and Discovery, a really fine race from him.
Yep, and we see an homage from Tybalt the Gambler doing the Pink Puffs.
All right. If the Pink Puffs, they have a 1 in 256 chance of dropping an adamant armor. If they do, we have to shut down the stream. We have to, and we never broadcast again.
No, never. It's
Never.
a good thing that there are backup channels.
Warlake 05 takes care of Water Hag in the ribbon room, gets a life staff and a crystal ring. But Warlake 05 will head down to the Masamune altar, will take on that Kainatsu last.
Yep, and well, if you want to see some of the previous tournament action for Highway to the Zenith Zone 5, we do have a playlist for that, as so kindly displayed by our Moobot.
Yeah, and that is available on YouTube as well. If you're watching on YouTube, hey YouTube, glad you're here.
Yep, and so we are down to 1 pink puff.
And Warlink has encountered the turtle. The waves going to hurt here a lot.
Yep, the turtle from California to surface some waves.
Go turtle, go turtle, go turtle, go. Learned white, gets the screen up, but unfortunately it's just a couple either twos.
Ooh.
The blue wizard, we get to keep talking.
Oh, we get to keep talking for now.
Well,
right.
It was worth a try, maybe.
Yep.
Tibble,
I mean,
really got it. Tibble. We really got to stop doing this. I want to keep talking. I think you want to keep being restreamed. So, ixnay on the shutting down our stream. Yay.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you know what? He got something that was needed, because as we can see, he's only got 1 elixir. You need something to kind of keep the spellcasters going. The Fusoya with his nukes and whites, and the Urza with the things that she does with whites and the Cure Force. And
yes. And Warlink 05 doing a very good job with this Kainatsu, keeping everybody at full health, and now Kainatsu's hiding inside the shell. And now it's just dust. Warlink is through there and has 1 more objective to go, I believe. No, that's it.
That's it.
Warlink has completed that double and has completed 8 out of 10. No, just 7 out of 10.
So close, yet so far. He almost ate the end of the game.
So, all right. Oh,
but
he hasn't gone to the Crystal Sword altar yet.
Correct.
To find the Brainas.
We do, however, have our 3rd place finisher off screen. Scythe Marshal has finished with an official time of 1 hour, 20 minutes, and 18 seconds. GG's to Scythe Marshal.
Yeah, GG Scythe. A famed Ninja Robe participant.
Yep. So famed we can't even see him.
And Tybalt will be has taken care of the dolls. Will be heading down into the bottom of the moon, which is where he needs to go. Warlink is setting up to take care of the Calbrenas, and actually, this might this will be close between Warlink and Tybalt. Warlink on the inside track.
Oh, very. But I think. Well, actually, yeah, it is going to be really close. I think Warlink might come out ahead, but with only seconds.
Yeah, Warlink is gonna get through this fight, especially if he has an hourglass that will make this fight free. Tybalt still has 2 fights to go.
True.
The elements in the White Spirit spot and the Kainatsu at the Masamune altar.
But we can still count the seconds between these 2 fights.
Yes, it's not a whole lot of seconds. Not very many seconds. Not as many seconds as I had in my Thanksgiving dinner last week.
All the seconds.
Ooh, Warlink going to do the Toad cast on Calbrenas. You'd love to see some creepy dolls turned into less creepy frogs.
Yep. Sorry, Mario, but your toads are in another video game.
And so Warlink can kill the dolls with impunity without a fear that they will morph into a big doll, because obviously frogs can't morph into big dolls.
Nope.
I think we all learned this in biology class.
They're only good at one thing, and that's croaking over.
And Warlink did do a Quake cast. I think we were hoping for a Meteo on there, but not to be. But Warlink is through, and that is objective number 8.
Yep, that is Warlink with an official time of... Oh, help me out here, my screens are stuttering.
1:24:16. GG's to Warlink. He comes in 4th place overall. The second finisher on our stream. Get those GGs up for Warlink 05. A very fine race. That DKC at the hook route can really, even if some of the other spots seem trivial, that DKC is a real roadblock.
Yeah, DKC on the hook route is always going to be a huge hurdle, no matter who you are.
And Tybalt's coming down right behind, will attempt to get into 5th place, and we'll see if he gets there in time. Eninja, meanwhile, is in Dwarf Castle, taking on that Dr. Luge. He has summoned that big whale.
Yep, and did we ask to see if interview for Warlink?
We will see if Warlink will come in for an interview. And yeah, we are joined by Warlink 05, our 4th place finisher. GG's.
GG's.
Thank you very much.
So, what do you think of that one? That DKC at King Queen Evelyn is always a fun time.
You can't make me go to make me do the hook route. You can't. You're not going to make me. I refuse. And then I realized, fine, I'll do it unless Demas was behind package. But lucky that wasn't the case. So I hope everyone likes their hook route for tonight.
It was definitely a spectacle.
Yeah, I was going through. It's like, okay, what's the rudest one that could wall everyone? And that's Ogopogo, but luckily he appears quickly. That's basically is my fear of, okay, whoever's in the second spot, it's doable.
So if you want to interrupt for just a second, Cubs Rule 21 has finished in 5th place with a time of 1:26:18, and as you saw on the screen, Tybalt has finished in 6th place with a time of 1:26:54. GG's to them both. Go ahead, Wizard.
Oh, I was just gonna say, so Warlick, what would you say was your favorite thing about the seed?
Besides the harp music is playing the people of Sky Kitty's people. Besides that, noticing that when the first place finishes is that at the point it's like, okay, it you have to go to the moon somehow, and I'm just doing enough eggs just to get Rose up to cure 4, and everyone will be fine. So Gomez and Kid is like, yeah, I'm doing you never. There was a small chance, a little part of me is that I could have gone down to Fame March and do that since I can do cover stress with that, but after seeing Fry Potato finish first, it's like, yeah, the moon is the play for this seed. So I basically did bottom up, and luckily it wasn't a dirty triple on the monster altar for objectives, but at least it's a double.
And you took care of that Masa altar lightning quick. Basically, as soon as you got to the moon, you kind of blazed through it. What was your strategy there?
Yeah, it's just basically assessing with the crystal sword and try to get him Zork up as quick as possible, because Kananzo down there, those waves, I don't remember if those waves is going to be is terrible. I think those waves are really terrible down there. So basically for that Kananzo, it's just basically get all my Zorkus all Zorked up, and my original party composition beforehand was going through is let's slingshot Kane and Palom just for a good black mage and another melee dealer, and then Fu was there. It's like, well, okay, Palom, just go back to the Tower of Wishes. Your job is done, which is never.
All right. So which circle of Dante's Inferno was this seed? Do you think?
I'm not really good at my world literature unless it's like Germanic stuff. So I would say whatever the circle that is still my the Shin Gunsei Nocturnal featuring Dante from Devil May Cry 2. I say that ring.
Okay, so about medium, but not too terrible.
Yeah, like the 4th level, maybe.
Yeah, like the 4th and a half, 4th and
Sure.
3/4.
Yeah.
Sure, it's just basically that hook rug wasn't. It's just D-learners. It's like when I saw that, it's like, oh, just frog them and that's easy. So if it was Ogopogo that I was initially feared, then yeah, it's like the worst of all. But luckily, it wasn't that bad.
Cool. Any additional words or thoughts before we go and part ways?
Let's just hope that the big chocobo that I use that column burn more than I can, because that's a sad disappointment, just getting both paths forge and give that. So besides that, C overall is all right. So if you two don't have any other questions for me, I would thank you both, you Blue and Sheet Launcher, for the commentaries. Angie Dave for pushing all the buttons, and Ali for rolling this one wonderful seed. And with that, you have 2 other racers in the wing. So with that, I'll duck out. Everyone out there watching, hope you're having a fantastic evening.
You too.
GG's Warlink. And we will get Tibbleton for an interview. E-Ninja did forfeit this one. E-Ninja did make some really nice plays, but decided he was just a bit far behind. So we are joined by Tybalt, our 6th place finisher. GG's.
Tybalt.
You can go ahead and unmute.
Okay, yeah, GG's.
So, DKC on the hook route, that's a little devilish, huh?
Yeah, it's a little painful. I saw that, I'm like, maybe I have the health for it? Nope, don't have it. Okay, well, let's try again. Let's drop the battle speed. Should be able to get through it. So, I did.
Yeah, and I got a question for you specifically. Uh,
Yeah.
in the very beginning, so we here in the booth, we saw the routes everyone took. What was your thought process behind going to Eblin first?
I wanted something good for Sid to get up ordeals. Like I wanted to get Paladin Cecil online as quickly as possible. That was my goal. So once I got the Sammy bow for Sid and I got some terminals, I'm like, cool, I can do ordeals now and I can get the Cecil online and I can just kind of go counterclockwise through the overworld and end up doing Eblin last and hopefully find a shiny stick for Cecil.
And what do you think your biggest hurdle for this seed was?
Not realizing it was win game. Like that's why I did the gold dragons at Murasame altar because I'm thinking, oh, I'm gonna do, I gotta defeat Z. I need levels. Cool, let's do that.
You still had to defeat Kainatsu, and you needed the levels for that.
Well, yeah, but I would have got the levels I needed from doing Ribbon and White Spear altar. That was fine.
Mura, Masa, White Spear. I mean, it's all the same. They're all altars with.
But once I lost first, I'm like, you know what? I'll do what I always do, and I do pink buffs, and then just to get the 2 ether drops.
Hey, a wizard does need to keep his MP pool up.
Yeah, that was nice. That was just like, music continue. Oh,
Aw. So close.
So-
So close.
Well, what do you think of the flag set overall?
oh, it was pretty fun actually. I mean, it's kind of a mixture of a different couple flag sets we've had for tournaments in the past. So you kind of have to really think on your feet because it's a bit of boss hunts, but also you're looking for key items at the same time.
Speaking of key items, with K Summon on, what drove you to do Demist?
Well, I had a couple darts for Demas, and Demas was 2 possible key items, both the summon spot and Demas herself. I didn't want to do Azura because I didn't have any anti-mage gear at that time. But I figured at that point I've already got Darkness, so I've got the Moon unlocked, so I've got 7 boss spots up there. I'm hoping for maybe a Baron key or a Magma key from, this chain or coming up soon to where I can just route Baron in and be done with the overworld.
So I have a very specific question for that. So I know you said that you had no mage gear to go and fight Ashura down in the.
Oh, I sold it.
Well, I mean, case in point still stands. But would you? I mean, you've been around the block. You've been, running Free Enterprise for some years. Would you, in fact, consider Crystal Sword, Power Shirt, Zeus Gauntlet, Cecil to be anti-mage? Just out of curiosity.
I mean, at that point, here's the thing. I'm probably going to be using Cecil more of a cover person at that because Azura hits like a truck. And especially at Leviathan. So, I've had a mute knife or mute arrows, like the Elven bow still. I probably would have done Azura, but not having any of that gear just kind of said, I'm just going to go away from here and just go elsewhere. I've got the moon unlocked. I might as well go there, right?
Yep. And I mean, your some of your gambles definitely paid off. We saw that the tower, half tower play, didn't quite pan out so well, but
no,
that's completely okay.
But Evil Wall at the top, I'm like, no, I don't need Evil Wall. He's not a boss I need. I'm just gonna do half tower. It's a boss I don't know.
All right. So, which level of Dante's Inferno was this seed?
This particular. I don't know. It wasn't that bad in all reality. Maybe 2 or 3. It just wasn't that bad.
Yeah,
So
you're up there with the flatterers.
Would you find yourself running this flag set again?
Oh yeah, definitely. You really got to keep you on your toes, especially this one. If I would have realized it was win game, I'd probably route this a little bit differently. I'd probably go to the moon sooner, especially with Crystal Sword Cecil.
See, and this goes to further reiterate something that I am kind of contradictory on in saying, and that it's very important to know your flag sets. Before
read your flags,
which I can't really speak about because I am notorious for just, there's a seat to run, cool, I'll hop in, Wait, what are the flags?
You know what the tip off was? Was it was win game, and I realized I had just lost a ton of time
Was
when I
when you
got
picked
when I got the crystal from White
Yep.
Spear.
up.
I got that crystal. I'm like, it's win game. Oh, that explains everything.
Yep. Hey, it's another key item.
Yeah.
I didn't really. I already had 10. I didn't need another one.
Still more effective than that Sand Ruby. Well, actually, no. In the other case, Sand Ruby's more important.
Yeah.
It's another character. Tibble, any additional thoughts or things you want to say?
No, thanks for doing the commentary. I always love watching these back. Maybe I can learn something new or see how other people did compared to myself. I always learn something.
Yeah.
Thanks for the tracking. I know I did a couple resets here and there, other things.
Hey,
So-
you know what? Did you have fun?
Oh yeah, always have fun. That's the
There you
biggest
go.
thing. Win,
Yeah.
lose, as long as you have fun, that's the biggest thing in my mind.
Agreed.
GG's once again, Tybalt, on your 6th place finish, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, GG's. Have a good one.
And we'll be joined by our 7th place finisher, eNinja81, and we are joined by him right now. GG's.
GG's, Ninja.
GG.
So DKC was rough to everybody, and he really seemed to be
I
rough to
kind
you.
of figured that.
Yeah, he's a real bear to deal with there. But you made a lot of really fun, gutsy plays. You were the first to go to harp, for example, which we really enjoyed.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
So, what do you think? I know it's kind of disappointing to have that kind of big enemy there. But what do you think of the flag set overall?
It's not a bad flag set. I mean, overall, I do like most of the flags. It's just Rando's gonna Rando, and it decided to want to stick DKC at or Hook Route 1, and ugh.
Yeah, I mean, here in the booth, I was mentioning about just DKC is one of my like arch nemesis for spots, especially at that King Queen Evelyn or the Hook 1 spot, because it's something like 457 to like 632 is his range there,
Yeah.
and it's a particularly nasty spot. Um, and with max tier 6 for the chest and just the kind of offshoot party comp prior to that Hook 1 spot, it does get a little complex or challenging.
Yeah, it's a little dicey.
But we did see that you did get past it, so definitely hats off to you there. What were your what would you say, like, from your experience in this particular flag set, what would you say like your favorite thing in it is?
In particular,
Yeah, I mean, doesn't have to be favorite. It could be just something that you're like, oh yeah, that's kind of a neat feature.
I mean, there's several things about this flag set that really aren't that bad. I mean, I do like it's a Cecil Herald because I am more about high agility anchors anyway. A lot of people don't like high agility anchors, but I do.
It
Yep,
does force you to think on your toes.
Yeah,
yep, definitely. In a game of randomizing, having that Cecil hero definitely kind of takes you back to the roots.
yeah. Uh, I mean, there's another racer, Neon Gray, that they love their high agility anchors, and I'm in the same boat with them.
Yep, because everyone loves a like an edge start or a
An edge or
young
a Cecil.
start.
Even a Cecil, once you get enough levels on Cecil,
Yep.
his agility gets ridiculous too.
This and with this Well, actually, to quote Sheep Launcher, what level of Dante's Inferno would you rate this seed? Like kind of a 1 through 10. Is there 10 or 9? Circles.
There's 9.
9. Okay.
I'd say 8.
8.
Yeah.
Cool.
Down down there with the fraudulent. The seed was fairly fraudulent to you, I would say.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I mean, we found so many elementals really quick, but then they just dried up.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Moon.
Moon, they were all hanging out there.
Yeah, it's like
The rest of them were hanging out on the Moon.
We never saw Mylon and Friends, but yeah, Elements, Kaidatsu, and Calbreda were all up in the Moon.
Oh yeah, okay. So two of the Elements and the dolls were hanging up on the Moon, just chilling up there.
Yep, just having a grand old space party. But I mean, that's when the seed hands you so many objectives on a silver platter on that overworld, there's going to be a curveball. And it seems like the curveball in this seed was DKC at Hook 1.
Yeah.
If DKC wasn't at Hook 1 all the time, would you find yourself running this flag set again?
Yeah, I would.
Cool.
All right, well, we can guarantee he's not going to be there all the time.
There you go.
Can we guarantee that? I think we can guarantee that.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't.
Well,
I think I'm a wizard. I can make stuff happen.
Okay. Well, Ninja, you do have a lot of positives to take from this race, and we hope you
Yep.
take that with you. We know you have a lot of great races in you. Any final thoughts on this seed before we let you go?
No. Who rolled this again?
This was Alisale.
Oh, well, thank you, Alisal.
All right.
They can't see the look on my face.
It's a look of surprise, I can tell you from here.
I hope you notice because he's doing it as hard as he can.
I am.
All right.
Ninja, you have a great rest of tonight, and thank you again for running.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right. Well, thank you so much to all of you for joining us on Free Enterprise 2 for some community race Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise action. Do want to thank one more time our tracker, Engine Dave, who I did a tremendous job on a really tough 4-person flag set. Our restreamer, Alisale, for rolling this wonderful win game setup. And thank you to you, the Blue Wizard, for dropping the knowledge and being such a fun comms partner. It's a lot of fun.
It is kind of fun to be back in the booth, just kind of shaking off the rust. It's been a minute, and I don't know. People might see me again in the not too distant future. Maybe I'll actually pick up this game called Free Enterprise. I hear it's a pretty rad time.
Definitely give the Blue Wizard a follow. You know how to do that. But we're going to join already in progress Beauty and Discovery. He's running Pink Puff Week 1 async. The async code is ZEIBJR. So if you are still planning on running that, now's the time to bail. But if you're interested in joining us, we'd love to have you. And until next time, for everybody here, so long.
Goodbye.